Just $30 each. Click, call, or visit a Spectrum store today.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Spectrum News Plus. Local stories, connecting communities. Streaming now on the Spectrum News app and free with your Spectrum subscription.
I'm Sharon Tazwell. Here's your Spectrum News in 90. Wall Street seeing a volatile start to the week amid ongoing fears over a recession following President Trump's sweeping reciprocal tariffs. Traders are searching for any signs showing the tariffs could be negotiated or halted. Trump Monday threatened to slap a new 50% tariff on China following retaliation from Beijing. While Democrats continue to criticize the president's economic policies.
I'm very concerned, as are my constituents, with extraordinary cost increases, a recession, and the volatility in the markets that create uncertainty.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with Trump at the White House Monday, marking his second visit since January. Trump says the two leaders spoke on trade, as well as rising tensions with Iran. Netanyahu says Israel will work to eliminate the trade deficit with America.
We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers.
Relentless rain inundating much of the South and Midwest since Wednesday is finally letting up. But rapidly rising rivers are threatening communities already flooded.
We're still not out of the woods. It's going to take days for the river flooding to recede.
And that is your Spectrum News in 90.
Flooding rains have stopped for the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys, but now we're tracking that system for the southeast, the threat for a few stronger storms and heavy rain there this evening. So flooding will continue for the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys all the way through late week into the weekend. Looking at snow for New England tomorrow and a big temperature flip-flop for the country. We'll talk about it coming up.
Another roller coaster day on Wall Street Monday as President Donald Trump continues to double down on global reciprocal tariffs, saying he's not looking at a pause. Experts say Wall Street could be in the claws of another bear market amid fears the tariffs could sink the global economy. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sharon Tazwell. U.S. stocks surged early in the day on rumors the president may pause tariffs, but quickly fell after a White House official called the reports fake news. The Dow fell just under 1%, ending under 38,000. The S&P fell nearly 12 points, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ ended in green. Spectrum's Reuben Jones has the latest on the economic worries from the White House.
President Donald Trump standing firm on his sweeping tariff plan, pushing back against a growing chorus of criticism from Wall Street and around the world.
No other president would be willing to do what I'm doing or to even go through it. Now, I don't mind going through it because I see a beautiful picture at the end.
The president speaking out amid whiplash on Wall Street, the markets seesawing Monday between huge losses and gains. The Dow Jones Index plunged 1,700 points soon after trading began on fears Trump's tariff plan will stoke inflation and throttle the economy. The Dow then spiked 900 points into the green on a false report the president would pause his tariffs. After the White House called the report fake news, stocks turned south again. The president added to the volatility, warning he would impose another 50% tariff on imports from China unless China dropped its retaliatory tariff on U.S. goods. The president's initial tariff announcement last Wednesday triggered the worst week on Wall Street since COVID wrecked the economy 5 years ago. He imposed a baseline 10% tax on all imports. But it's Wednesday when the higher tariffs on dozens of countries, including China and the European Union, go into effect. The goal to move manufacturing back to the U.S. On Monday, J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said in a letter to shareholders the president's tariffs are causing many to consider a greater probability of a recession.
So I think the president's math is wrong. I think he doesn't know that calculus is going to be so devastating to American consumers.
Returning to Washington Sunday night, the president said he doesn't want to see markets fall, but, quote, sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something.
Ruben Jones joins us with more from Washington. Ruben, lawmakers on both sides of the political aisle are considering legislation to limit the president's ability to impose tariffs. What can you tell us about the bill, and what is Trump saying about it?
Yeah, Sharon, this bill's starting to gain some traction in the Senate. It would basically limit the president's ability to impose unilateral tariffs. So it would give Congress the ability to end tariffs at any time and would require the president to notify Congress of a tariff. It's got some Republican support in the Senate, maybe 6, maybe 7 Republican senators. Even if it were to get out of the Senate, though, not likely to get picked up in the House of Representatives. And even if it were to get through the House of Representatives, the White House has said the president will veto it. One other thing I wanted to mention here, Sharon, is that the president was also asked today about whether he would put in place a pause on tariffs. And he said that he is not looking to put in place a pause on his tariff plan. But he said many foreign leaders are eager to cut trade deals to lift the tariffs and that he's open to them, saying, quote, we have many, many countries that are coming to negotiate with us. Sharon?
All right. Ruben Jones in Washington. Thank you. President Trump met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House Monday. The two leaders addressing a wide range of topics, including trade and the ongoing war with Hamas. Spectrum's Daniel Grimes has more on the high-stakes meeting, including a look at what could turn into a new trade agreement with the country.
A surprise announcement by President Donald Trump after meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the Oval Office Monday. The president said the U.S. and Iran will begin direct talks Saturday on Iran's nuclear program. Asked if he is willing to take military action against Iran, the president said, quote, if the talks are not successful, I actually think that will be a very bad day for Iran.
It's getting to be very dangerous territory. And hopefully those talks will be successful.
This would be the first high-level meeting between the U.S. and Iran since 2015. It is a reversal for the president. During his first term, he withdrew from the Obama-era nuclear program that put verifiable limits on Iran's nuclear program. The president and Netanyahu also discussed the situation in Gaza, including securing the release of the remaining hostages held by Hamas in Gaza.
We are trying very hard to get the hostages out. We're looking at another ceasefire. We'll see what happens.
Netanyahu said Israel will eliminate all trade barriers with the U.S., adding he hopes Israel will serve as a model for how to respond to the new tariffs Trump imposed last week.
We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly.
Daniel Grimes joins us with more from Washington. Daniel, the president once again promoted his proposal to move Palestinians out of Gaza and develop the region. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the president made that proposal. He cited it first back in February and then did it again today. Now, no Arab leader has publicly backed that idea, and the president suggested there could be other options for making the area safer, but Sharon, he did not elaborate. Sharon.
All right, more to come from that, I'm sure. Daniel Grimes in Washington, thanks. Concerns rising, historic flooding not seen in decades. The latest images from the Ohio River Valley and beyond. Plus, look at when it might end. Just ahead.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
Bring it to the party. unwind, connect with Spectrum TV On Demand. From the latest hit movies you've been waiting to watch to your favorite comfort shows and more, all available instantly for you to stream. Create the all-around entertainment experience you've always wanted with Spectrum TV On Demand. Browse over 80,000 on-demand titles today.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Welcome back to this round of your weather on the ones. I'm meteorologist Alan Auglis, and unfortunately, the flooding does continue for the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys all the way through late week, even into the upcoming weekend. It takes a lot of time for the water to get down to area rivers. Now, we're also looking at snow for New England tomorrow. Some wintry weather as the colder air has shifted towards the east, and the west will warm up. But a lot of flood warnings still up until further notice for the Ohio Valley, much of Kentucky, southbound through the Mississippi River Valley as well. But at least some dry skies for you today, some sunshine. The front that brought the flooding is now moving towards the south and east. We're also dealing with rain and mountain snow for the Pacific Northwest, but the threat of severe weather is still there for the Carolinas this evening, and that's why severe thunderstorm watch is up from Virginia Beach, Virginia, eastern North Carolina, even Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The threat for some large hail and also damaging wind gusts possible. So there's that front. 10 o'clock tonight, still some heavy rain for the Carolinas, much needed rainfall. But as we head into tomorrow, hey, the sunshine will be shining. But we are looking at cold air behind this system. Freeze warnings up for the Ohio Valley, the mid-Mississippi River Valley. Freeze watches up from Dover, Delaware to Raleigh, North Carolina for tomorrow night. So make sure you protect those tender plants if you put them out. Louisville tonight down into the 20s, Chicago as well, even down to 21 in Green Bay. So there's that chill locked up for the Great Lakes and Northeast, 48 in D.C. for tomorrow. But the warm air to the west, Denver 75, Phoenix at 93 for tomorrow. And midweek, more of the same. Chilly to the north, very warm to the south and west. We're talking more about this pattern flip this week, coming up with your next Weather on the Ones in less than 10 minutes from now.
Here's what you need to know. President Trump threatened to add new 50% tariffs on China following retaliation from Beijing against U.S. boosts. This as markets continue to see extraordinary volatility amid growing fears of a recession. And U.S. stocks react to tariffs with the Dow and the S&P closing in the red Monday. The Dow plunged nearly 350 points, marking a third day of losses. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with Trump at the White House Monday to discuss trade as well as rising tensions with Iran. Netanyahu says Israel will work to eliminate the trade deficit with America. That's what you need to know. Rain is no longer falling in the Mississippi and Ohio River valleys, but the urgent work to stop historic floodwaters intensifies. At least 23 people have died as rivers rage and streams swell. As Ariel Wessler shows us, we can expect major impacts through much of the week, including ongoing evacuations.
The relentless rain inundating much of the South and Midwest since Wednesday is finally letting up.
It's good to be able to come out this morning and not be raining.
But rapidly rising rivers and tributaries are now threatening battered communities already flooded, including some that officials say have never experienced this before.
I've seen homes underwater that have never had water. I don't think people were ready.
The severe weather system wreaking havoc from Texas to Ohio, spawning at least 60 tornadoes and dropping more than a foot of rain across parts of the Mid-South in less than a week. On Saturday alone, more than a dozen daily rainfall records were set in Tennessee and Arkansas.
We're just getting a lot of water right now.
The furious flooding prompting water rescues in Ohio and in hard-hit Kentucky, where Governor Andy Beshear warns of more danger ahead.
We're still not out of the woods. It's going to take days for the river flooding to recede.
Some rivers that inundated towns rising to near record levels, like the Kentucky River near Frankfort.
You're used to seeing storms last a couple days, if it's a bad storm, a day or two, but this was 6 straight days of heavy torrential downpour. And again, with already saturated ground, there's just nowhere for it to go.
With some rivers already cresting and others set to crest by midweek, for many, the worst may still be yet to come.
We've got a lot of water and a lot more to go.
Kentucky's governor said more than 1,000 people had no access to water and nearly 3,000 were under boil water advisories. Forecasters warn flooding could persist for days, not only in Kentucky, but also Tennessee and Alabama. Ariel Wessler, Spectrum News.
Our meteorologist Alan August is closely monitoring the ongoing flood threat and joins us now. Alan, when can we start to see this flooding recede?
Well, Sharon, it's going to take some time. All that water has to go down through the creeks, streams, and eventually the rivers. So they will remain high all the way through late week into the weekend. Look at these totals. Over 15 inches in Central City, Kentucky, Hot Springs, Arkansas, about a foot of rain. Louisville, Kentucky, almost 7.5 inches of rain. And you can see what has happened because of that. In Louisville, the Ohio River cresting at about 37 feet. That's almost major flood stage at 38 feet, the highest that river has been since 2018. And we still have numerous flood warnings up for much of Kentucky, southern Indiana, and that stretches all the way south through the Mississippi River Valley as well. Now in Kentucky, the Kentucky River at Frankfort, the crest so far, 48.2 feet. The record crest, all-time record crest, 48.5 feet, almost there. It will go down below flood stage, but not until Thursday into Friday, Sharon.
Oh my, all right. Meteorologist Alan August, thanks for that update.
You're welcome.
The CIA is reviewing its scope and limits to use lethal force against drug cartels in Mexico and other countries. There's word the agency is considering what actions it can legally take against cartels and the risks associated with them. It comes after the Trump administration designated a number of cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. The review does not indicate whether the Trump administration has ordered the CIA to take direct action against the cartels. Boeing reached a settlement with some victims of a 737 MAX crash. The settlement comes just one day before a civil trial against Boeing by 2 of the families of passengers killed in the crash. The crash happened back in 2019 in Ethiopia, killing all 149 passengers and 8 crew members. Civil trials for other family members have also been scheduled. Florida and Houston set to face off in the men's NCAA championship. We're breaking down the high-stakes game and who could win it all. Just ahead.
For the millions of school-aged children across the country, the state of their schools can have a lasting impact on their health and well-being.
The majority of school districts aren't doing comprehensive regular water quality testing.
As CO2 levels rise in a space, cognitive function takes a direct decline.
We visit 2 school districts working to create safe and healthy environments for their students.
Watch Exploring Your Health, Curing Our Classrooms. Available on the Spectrum News app.
Look at this.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything that's wonderful is what I feel when we're together.
Oh, that was funny.
It's all about connecting with seamless connectivity. And internet customers get one mobile line included for 1 year with Spectrum.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Meteorologist Alan Auglis here with your latest Weather on the Ones update here on Spectrum News. And no doubt April has been an active month in terms of severe weather so far. We're only in the first week of April, and look at the first 5 days. Hundreds of severe weather reports, from tornadoes to damaging wind gusts to large hail. Over 1,500 storm reports coming in across the country. We're quieting down just a little bit, but the flooding, unfortunately, will continue through the entire week for the Ohio and also Mississippi River valleys. But a pattern flip. It is much cooler for the east, and the warm air is shifting towards the Rockies and the West Coast. So behind this front, you can see where it's chilly through the Great Lakes, a little bit of snow today. There's that front that brought all the flooding for the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys. It's finally starting to move offshore for tonight. As we go towards the Pacific Northwest, a little bit active here tonight into tomorrow with another system approaching the coast. Some rain for Seattle, Portland, the lower elevations, but the Cascades looking at snow. That will continue pretty much all day long for tomorrow. Also, New England dealing with some wintry weather late tonight into tomorrow. Maine, look at this, snow breaking out, and that's going to continue for much of the day tomorrow, especially for the upstate portion of Maine, and that's where winter weather advisory is up. For Millinocket, also around Caribou, Presque Isle, and even into Watertown, New York, a winter weather advisory in effect. So how much snow are we looking at here? Well, several inches for northern portions of Maine, 3, 4, 5, even 6, 7 inches of snow, not out of the question. Also for the higher elevations of upstate New York, a few inches of snowfall expected. As that chilly air is locked up through the Great Lakes and Northeast, there's the warm air into the Rockies, also the Southwest. And notice that's going to be the pattern all the way into late week as well, with a big dip in the jet stream for the east and warm air locked up to the west. And you can see that with our high temperatures. New York in the 40s the next couple of days. Chicago as well. It's chilly, but Dallas head southbound. You're into the 80s by Wednesday and Thursday, even around 80 in Orlando. Feeling very nice there. So temperatures are cooler for the eastern half of the country with this pattern change. The warmer air is locked up in the Rockies and the west, with temperatures about 20-25 degrees above average there.
Houston are set to face off in the NCAA Men's Championship game later tonight. It's been a long-fought battle on the court for both #1 seed teams. And here to weigh in is Spectrum's Travis Raychek. Travis, what can you tell us about tonight's high-stakes matchup?
Well, Sharon, yeah, it's a great showdown between Houston and Florida. And if you want to look at the keys to the game tonight, I think for Houston, who's going to do the scoring? LJ Cryer kind of carried them early on against Duke on Saturday night. Emmanuel Sharp helped them finish it. So one of those two guys, or maybe Milos Uzan, is going to have to do the scoring. And then their relentless defense that they rely on is going to be important as well to try and wear down Florida, because Florida's offense is really good. They probably have the best player that's been on the court this entire entire tournament, and Walter Clayton Jr. 34 points on Saturday night in the win over Auburn, and he's had just enough help from other role players like Elijah Martin or Thomas Houck. So it's going to be a showdown. Both of these teams have proven that they can win close games. They've done it to get to this point. Whoever can do that again, coming away national champs tonight.
Yeah, such amazing talent on the court. Travis, what has the atmosphere been like in San Antonio during the last week of the NCAA Final Four and championship game?
Well, a couple of things have gone really well for the city of San Antonio when you talk about hosting this Final Four. The weather today is pretty much perfect. We're talking about 72 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, so that makes it nice and accessible for everyone. That's flooded the downtown area, the Riverwalk area, and they got a nearby team to play in the championship game. Houston is just 200 miles away, so for anybody that couldn't be here for the Final Four game on Saturday night, once they saw their Cougars win, that's a short trip to come down and be here for this title game tonight. So expect another huge crowd in the Alamo Dome, over 65,000 plus on Saturday.
Wow, beautiful weather. You get to watch the Final Four. Travis Raychek, what a tough gig you have today. Enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, not bad at all. Thank you.
Star basketball player Paige Bueckers and the UConn Huskies are heading back to their college campus as champions after winning the women's NCAA National Championship. The team secured its 12th national championship title after beating South Carolina Sunday night. At 71 years old, UConn's Gino Auriemma is now the oldest head coach to win an NCAA basketball championship. Bueckers put up 17 points and is expected to be the #1 pick in the WNBA draft later this month. How about this? Archaeologists uncovered a mysterious ancient tomb in Egypt. Take a look at the tomb unearthed in the city of Abydos by researchers from the University of Pennsylvania. It contains multiple rooms and an entryway marked with hieroglyphic text. The text was damaged by grave robbers, leaving the name unreadable. Researchers believe the tomb belonged to a king who ruled the region about 1600 BC as part of the Abydos dynasty, which has been long shrouded in mystery. Scientists reanimated the dire wolf after more than 12,000 years of extinction. The 3 young wolves were born in October. A genetic engineering company used gene editing to modify the traits of existing animals. The team took DNA from a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull to create healthy dire wolf puppies. Now, if you think you've seen them before, the dire wolf is featured on HBO's Game of Thrones series. The 3 have been named Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi. I'm Sharon Tazwell. Thanks for watching. Your Spectrum News at Night is coming up right after this short break. Stay with us.
Friday nights, The Big Deal with Errol Lewis, where Spectrum News' local political journalists break down the most important issues shaping our nation.
Our journey towards improving mental health doesn't always present a clear path. Every Thursday on Your Mental Health, we listen to voices across our communities, discussing the challenges of everyday life and presenting accessible resources to guide us along the path to our well-being, providing hope and empowering choices that light the way to a healthier you.
Your Mental Health with Dr. Nicole Clark, Thursdays on Spectrum News Plus, available on all your favorite devices.
It's game time at the arena, and 20,000 fans are looking for a win. With an ultra-high-speed network and seamless Wi-Fi, fans can get in the door fast and share the game's best moments in real time. And with Spectrum Business committed to keeping them connected 100% of the time, they won't miss a second of the action. A secure, reliable connection from Spectrum Business means the fan experience is a guaranteed win.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/team up.
Weather can be beautiful, inconvenient, and at times powerful. And it affects everything we do. At Spectrum News Plus, our weather experts update you with the information and the context you need so you can better plan your day. And we do it every 10 minutes. We're the calm in the storm. Weather on the Ones on Spectrum News Plus, exclusively on Spectrum. And get your weather anytime on the Spectrum News app. Spectrum News Plus, local stories, connecting communities.